Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This might be for Pretty Little Liars, Season 5, Episode 20, Pretty Isn't the Point, and holy shit, guys, this episode was like the free fall of the season. This was Season 5 free fall. Free fall, of course, was the turning point in Season 4. This was the turning point in Season 5. Wow, guys. The first half of this episode, I do have to say, some of this episode was kind of filler until the end, which was just, oh my god, if what we saw in those flashbacks are true, that's the biggest twist in PLL history. It really is. It's the biggest twist in Pretty Liars history if what we saw is true. I'm not sure, though. But let's just get in this episode because it was amazing and by far the best episode of the season. So, we start off with Aria, Emily, Spencer, and Hanna. They're searching Mike's bedroom for clues, and Aria's whining that it feels wrong ravaging through her brother's stuff because, she doesn't think that he would do something like this and that he would be working with A. She just doesn't feel like that's plausible. And Hanna reminds her that her brother just handed over test tubes of their blood to Allie's friend Cyrus. So, they find a brand new necklace in Mike's gym bag that he just bought and has beads on it that says, "I'm with you." And basically, they are certain that that is a gift from Allie. So, basically, they're thinking, yeah, he could be working with Allie. See, but again, I'm thinking that, no, he's working with A. I don't think he's working with Allie. I definitely don't. By the looks of last week's episode, I don't think he is. I think he's the one that basically framed Allie, and he's been being played by Allie and Cyrus. I think Allie's giving him all these gifts to make him seem like that she cares about him and that she wants him on the team and things like that, when really in reality she's just getting revenge against him, which is pretty awesome, honestly, if you think about it. It actually is really awesome. So Emily heads to work, and she's shocked to see that Talia is on the phone with her mom, and Talia reassures her that this is not serious, and Emily's mom just called for a recipe for cobbler, and Mike walks into the coffee shop, and Emily tries to tell him that they are closed. He refuses to leave, and it's a very intense scene, because of course Emily knows what's going on with Mike and everything, and he says he needs 2 coffees to go, but when Emily pours the coffee, Mike texts her on her cell phone, and Mike tells Emily that both of the coffees are for him because he had a long night, and that's really interesting he said that. I'm like, what does he mean by a long night? That could mean a lot of things. That could mean that he killed somebody. That could mean that he just had, like, a long night. There's a lot of things that could mean. I'm watching Mike very carefully right now. Really, I am. He's one of those characters that you have to watch very carefully because you don't know how it's going to be with his character. And that's a really creepy line, I do have to say. So Spencer's getting coffee with Johnny, and again, I really do like them in this episode. I know a lot of people don't like Johnny, but I like them. I really do. I don't know what it is, but I like Spencer and Johnny more than I like Spencer and Toby. They're just not at a good point in the relationship right now. And she receives a message from Emily saying that Mike is getting scarier, and that no shit he is. I mean, he's getting really creepy. This is as creepy as Ezra was in Season 4, and they're having coffee, and Toby wakes up, and Spencer introduces him to Johnny and asks Toby what he's doing at Hollis, which I guess, that makes a lot of sense, because he just randomly shows up at Hollis, so why would he be there? And he says he's just picking up schedules for Jenna, and Spencer tries to make plans with him, but he says that he's busy, and Johnny and Toby are clearly not fans of each other. They don't like each other, and I like that they don't like each other because they're very different from one another. Toby is much more stricter, and Johnny's a lot more laid back, and that's one of the things I really like about Johnny is how laid back he is, and how he's opened so many new things to Spencer, how he's given Spencer such a different perspective of her life. I really like that about his character. And I just am really liking Johnny and Spencer's friendship overall. And I definitely wanted to deepen into something more. I have to say, I really think that he's the perfect guy for her. He really is. And I really do like those two together. I have to say, I just really do like those two. So Hannah's filling Caleb in on Mike and the strange necklace that they found at his house, and Hannah's phone keeps ringing, but she's not answering it, and we don't know why, but she's not answering it for some reason. And to know what's going on, and Hannah explains that she enrolled into a Miss Teen beauty pageant because she needs a $20,000 prize, of course, to pay for college, because Hannah, of course, wants to leave town so she can get away from A and everything, so basically, this is kind of filler, but I liked it overall. It wasn't boring. I enjoyed it. Caleb thinks that it's dumb For it's a dumb idea, you know, because he just thinks that she's just doing this for a beauty pageant. He thinks it's dumb and everything. It kind of is, but she's in desperate need of money. There really is no other way to get money. He doesn't realize that she has been searching desperately for money. So I can understand why Hanna did this. She's looking desperately for money, and she really wants to get out of town. I mean, if you were in Hanna's position, I probably would have done something like that. I don't know if I'd enter myself in, like, a pageant of some sort or something like that. But if I was in desperate need of money, I'd do anything I can to get money. I mean, really, Hanna needs the money, and she's not, you know, basically... Caleb thinks that she should get money from his mom in California, and Hanna doesn't want anyone's help, though. And I think, as I said, I thought she was going to turn to Ashley, but I think the reason she hasn't because she wants Ashley to trust her. She wants to show Ashley that she can trust her daughter, and that she can make her own decisions, and that she doesn't need her anymore. Because I don't think that Ashley fully knows that. I don't think Ashley fully understands that Hanna isn't a little girl anymore. She kind of babies Hanna, not to a huge point, but she does sort of baby Hanna, and I think that Hanna doing this is really showing her mom that she is serious about this. And Caleb warns her that pageants are squeaky clean and they could dig up some of her past, and I like that he said that because it definitely a lot of beauty pageants don't end well. So Andrew comes over to Aria's house to tutor her, and once again, I just found him really creepy, and I don't know what it is about Andrew. I just don't trust him. He just seems way too trustworthy and too nice and he just seems too much of a gentleman, and just those characters, especially with Mike, he just seems too much of a gentleman for us to trust him. And she's distracting him because of the drama with her brother Mike, and Aria asks Andrew to follow her brother Mike to the gym to see what he's doing, and Mike storms out of his room, freaks out on Aria going through his room, and he screams to her that there's nothing going on, and that what's going on is none of her damn business, which it kind of is, and I can understand Mike's points, but you can definitely tell he's hiding something. You can definitely tell there's something he does not want to tell her. You don't know what it is, but you know that there is something that he does not want to tell her. And you don't exactly know what it is. You can tell that he is definitely hiding something from her. And I like seeing the scene overall. I thought it was very well done. And he says if she touches anything else of his, she's going to regret it. And I mean, that makes a lot of sense. He definitely wants her to keep her hands off of his stuff, and I like seeing that overall. So Spencer and Johnny go to an art studio. Someone took their vandalism paint. Well, not I like seeing that. I like this storyline, though. I think it's really interesting because you can tell there's something going on. Mike, he just doesn't want to tell anyone. So Spencer and Johnny go to this art studio, and someone took their vandalism paintings off from the wall and broke them up and framed them. So Johnny argues that they are his work and they can't be sold, and the art studio owner informs him that they were in a dumpster and are on the way to the dump until he saved them. So technically they are his, and Hanna meets with her pageant coach and drills her with questions on current events. And when I say she's drilling her questions, she's asking her literally any single current event going on. That's what Hanna was asked. And Hanna, she doesn't know how to answer these. She's bombing them. So the instructor's asking her what she plans to do for the talent section. And Hanna says that she dances. And I'm just like, no, you don't. You don't dance. When have we ever seen Hanna, really dance? When have we ever really seen her do that? So I'm just like, oh, shit, Hanna just screwed herself, and this is not gonna end well for her. Because she doesn't dance, but I think she said that because she needs to find some sort of talent, obviously, so... Emily's working at the brew, and Talia's husband Eric drops by, and it's a very awkward scene. He introduces himself to Emily and says that Talia talks about her all the time, and she told Eric that she's dating Talia. And Emily explains that she didn't know Talia was married. And Eric says that he loves Talia, and he will forever. And Emily is just an experiment or one-time thing. Which, honestly, I would believe that. I really would. Talia, it just seemed kind of sudden that she liked Emily. But it makes sense why she suddenly is with Emily. Because she wants to experiment. Because she's not sure if she actually is a lesbian or really what's going on with her. So to her, Emily's just this experiment. And it really makes Emily feel terrible, obviously. Obviously it makes Emily feel terrible. But at the same time, it makes a lot of sense. I definitely understand her logic there. I do understand that. So I really did feel bad for Emily, but, that's what happened there. So Mike heads to the woods, leaves another package inside a tree trunk. He has no idea that Andrew followed him to the woods and is watching where he puts it. And, yeah, that was a very big scene. Basically, Andrew's watching him, and So basically, Aria then later went to, and now I'm just going to talk about how each storyline ended. And Aria goes to explore for herself, caught by Mike. He nearly attacked her over the blood vial that apparently didn't belong to them, but Mona. And my question is, why the hell did he have it? If it's Mona's, why does he have it? We'll get to that when we get to the big twist, but that was definitely very interesting. So as far as Spencer and Johnny go, what ends up happening is that Johnny triggers an alarm, basically. They see that this mural, which they had illegally painted on a Hollis rooftop, was now in an art gallery on campus, and their anger, especially after one of the chopped up pieces was sold, led them to break into the facility. And they'd taken back almost all of them when Johnny triggered an alarm, leading them to flee, and Toby ended up catching them in a gas station, and seriously, Toby is getting on my nerves, I have to say. The way they're writing Toby, I do really like. But Toby is the kind of character now that's just is really annoying, because I honestly do want these two together. I'm going to be honest, I do. And I think Toby is kind of ruining it for them. But I know why, because he clearly can tell that these two like each other. He's not stupid. He can tell that Spencer has feelings for Johnny, and he clearly does not want her with Johnny. Which I can understand why he doesn't want her with Johnny. But he is just ruining everything for them, and I do want them together. So, to me, I really felt bad for them. So he takes away Johnny, and that's not even the worst part of it. He arrests Johnny, he takes him away in handcuffs, and Spencer is, giving all these tearful protests. Another argument of the state of their relationship and how it relates to Mona's murder investigation. And I like that she said that to me, because really that's what's going on there. Basically, that's really what was going on, is that it all has to do with his investigation towards Mona. He's more interested in that than he is in her. Now, I understand he's told her before that he doesn't want her involved, but he really needs to understand that she cares about him. Spencer cares about him, and I think that Spencer, deep down, she does still love him. But she's so confused in this, and there's so much not really in love right now, that the reason that Spencer just feels this way towards him is just because he's ignoring her, and he's not really being the best boyfriend he could be, and she's really sick of it, which I can understand if she's sick of it. Anyone would be sick of it if they were treated that way. No one should ever be treated that way, and I really do feel bad for Spencer that she was treated that way. So, basically, luckily, though, Spencer's mom does bail Johnny out and kicks him out of the barn, but then we get this great scene. I love this. They have an emotional goodbye, and they then kiss, and that to me is saying that she's moving on from Toby. She does not even seem really into Toby anymore. I mean, she wants to know the state of the relationship. He's not giving her any answers, so move on. Break up with him, move on to Johnny. I'm all for it. I am. I think Johnny's a much better guy for her. I think he has a lot more to offer her. I think she has a much better chance of being with Johnny than she does with Toby. Toby just is not giving her what she wants anymore, and Toby is not right for her, I don't think. I don't feel these two are really right for each other anymore, and I think it's simply just because of the fact of just the current state of their relationship. Not just that, but also the current state of what's going on with Toby and all that. I just don't feel that these two belong together anymore. I really don't, and it's sad, but that's what happens to couples, is that they break up and then they're just not good together anymore. And it's sad to see, but that's what happened there. So, I do feel bad for them, but I'm happy for Spencer and Johnny. I really hope that they do get back together. So, basically, Hanna and the whole Miss Teen pageant thing, that professional coach told her that those pageants are just about being pretty anymore, and pretty isn't the point. That's why the episode was called Pretty Isn't the Point. And, of course, Hannah lied and said she was a dancer, making Emily, who apparently started taking dance lessons at 3, teach her routine. Now, we know that Emily's been into dancing before. We have seen her. It makes sense. I mean, she's been an athlete and things like that, and it makes sense if she was trained for dancing. So, basically, she teaches her this routine, but I like seeing these two have a routine together. And I really do like seeing Emily and Hannah bond a lot more. They really are pairing these two up a lot this season, and I like seeing them pair them up a lot, because we don't get to see a lot of their interaction, and I really liked all the interaction with them this episode. It was really well done overall, and I like seeing Emily be a great friend to Hannah. Definitely, I really enjoyed that. So, it became really hard for her when she discovered that her stepsister Kate was competing too, and obviously she wants nothing to do with her, because, of course, her dad gave all that college money to Kate, and Hanna has no money, and I'm just thinking, why the hell does she need to be there? Like, what is this? How much more money does this girl need? Like, seriously, she has all the college money she needs. She can pay for all that. So why does she even need to be here? Just go to college, and that's the end of it. Hanna, though, on the other hand, doesn't have that money, needs the college money, actually is, has reasons to get money, while Kate's just there to basically just rub it in her face. And Hannah's left in tears when the coach told her she wasn't pageant material, and I like that it actually didn't end up going well for Hanna, because Emily said she still had a better chance in the competition, which I thought was interesting that they said that, and it actually makes sense, because, Emily's a dancer, Hanna really was not. I was not expecting Hanna to actually do well with that, and Hanna only felt worse when it was revealed that A, or as she believed Mike, signed Kate up, because she thinks that Mike is A. She doesn't think that Allie's A. She thinks that Mike is A. And basically, she thinks that Mike signed Kate up and that her nemesis wasn't really competing. Kate won't win the pageant, but she's already won, basically. That's what Emily said. And I'd have to agree with that. I really, it makes a lot of sense, because, we know that A stalks the liars. We know that whoever A is, they stalk the liars, and that really does make me think that definitely Mike could possibly be A. He's so involved with them right now that it just seemed like, it just seems like that he definitely could be A, and I thought that was just a really, really good twist overall. So Emily, however, voted to compete on Hannah's behalf and actually won her the money. So we're going to have to see if this works with Emily. We don't get a conclusion in this storyline. We're going to get a conclusion in the next few episodes, but we'll see if this actually works out for her. My guess is that, no, it's not going to work out, because if A signed up Kate, then I don't think it's going to work out. But maybe this will make them stronger. Maybe this will just make them realize, you know what, who cares if A is following us? If A wants to follow us, then we're going to go against A, and we're just going to do our own thing, and we're going to win. And I hope that's what happens, because I really do like Emily doing this for Hanna. I definitely really enjoyed that, and I thought that was very good overall. So then, going back to Emily and Talia, basically, Eric's husband Eric, Talia's husband, showed up, as I said, and he told Emily not to feel weird. I like that he said that to her. Because, of course, he believed that Talia was experimenting with her, and he'd be the one loving her for years to come. And Emily there confronts Talia about his comments, obviously, because she's weirded out by what he just said to her. He basically just gave her, like, the biggest diss ever. Seriously, he did. And I don't think he realizes that, but he really did give her, like, the biggest diss, like, he could ever give her. And basically, they talk about their romance, and she wants to shut it down, and I like that she does, because I don't want these two together. If Talia's only with her to experiment, I don't want her together, because Emily deserves a lot better than that. She went through hell with Paige, and if she really thinks that Talia's gonna be into her, I think that's a terrible thing. Talia tells her that she's not into girls because, and I like that what Emily says. She says she's not into girls because it's trendy. She does it because she likes it, and that's who she is as a person. Talia just seems to be experimenting, and Talia doesn't really seem like she's into her, rather than just experimenting with her. It really definitely hurt Emily's feelings, and I actually really did like that storyline. She shuts down their romance because she refused to be a third person in a third-person relationship, and I like seeing that from Emily. A lot of people say Emily's usually the one that's dumb and doesn't have good storylines, but no, Emily's being written tremendously this season, I have to say. Tremendously, and that was very well done, and I love that. And now we have to get to what is arguably the biggest twist in Pretty Little Liars history. If this twist is true, it is going to change the entire show, and I love that. So, of course, Mike and Aria, he wasn't going to tell her what was going on, but he finally tells Aria the truth, and I absolutely love that. He tells her that he never hurt Mona, and then we get a flashback, and this very much reminded me of the finale of Season 4, because we finally got all the answers we need. Well, here we get all the answers we need about Mona, and we learned that Mike surprised her a few nights before Thanksgiving, only to find her on the phone with Liesel and storing vials of blood in her room, taken from her own arm, and that's really interesting. So Mona told him she was offered a chance to make things right for Aria and her friends for exposing A and bringing her down and this line right here just made me think, I really don't trust her, and I think my theory could be true. A lot of people say it's really weird, but honestly, guys, this episode could confirm my theory, because she talks about how she wants to spread blood all over her house and make it look like Allie murdered her. Remember, keywords, guys. made it look like she wasn't actually killed. And again, guys, I don't think she was killed now. I think she faked it. I think she faked it and framed Allie, and in actuality, Mona would disappear, all to earn A's trust, because apparently we learned this episode that Mona would secretly be working with A, and Mike was skeptical, but went along with it. Mike never met up with her at several of their proposed meeting locations, and he realized she really was dead, and that A must have double-crossed her, and as for keeping her blood, he tearfully told Aria that she gave it to him as a promise that she was coming back, and it was all he had left of her. So, basically, Mona was gonna fake her death, didn't work out, A double-crossed her, and killed her, and now what I love is that the liars finally realize, you know what, it's not A. It's not Allie. There's no way that it's Allie, and I love that they realized that it wasn't Allie, because honestly, as I said, it was all about paranoia. The only reason they thought it was Allie is because of what she's done in the past, but I like that the girls finally realized, you know what, we're being stupid, it's not Allie, and basically Aria fills them in on what's going on and regretted not trusting her brother, while they all regretted pointing the finger at Allie for Mona's murder and deeming her A when she now appears to be innocent. And finally, we're actually seeing this because what have I said all season? She's been the innocent one all along. framed her clearly, and we don't know who A is, but I'm assuming it's a guy, because we see at the end of this episode this hooded figure in Mike's room holding a wrench, and he has like a weight set, and one name comes to mind. Cyrus. That's the name that comes to mind now. Cyrus is the name that comes to mind, and here's what I think is going on. Allie and Cyrus are working together. Cyrus, I think, wants to make it look like she can trust him. But of course, why would Cyrus befriend her? After what happened with Cyrus and all that, why would he befriend her? He's not. He's making it look like he's befriending her. I think really what's going on between Allie and Cyrus is that Cyrus wants to make her think that she can trust him, when really she can't trust Cyrus, and Cyrus is eventually just going to turn against her and basically framed her. I think Cyrus is the one that did this. I think Cyrus is A, and I think that's what's going on, because I think A is a guy now, especially because we saw the weight set. I definitely feel like it could be A. And apparently we're going to find out who A is in the season finale, which I hope is true. But holy shit, guys, this was such a good episode, because finally they now all realize that Allie was not A, and I absolutely love that. And next week we're going to get a huge confrontation with them. And basically, it looks like they're going to basically tell Allie they're sorry. But my thing is, I don't know if Allie should really forgive them. I don't think she should I think we know that she feels bad for what she did, because Allie has talked about how bad she feels about what she did, when she, in actuality, did nothing. She did nothing, really. All she did was just scare them. That's all she did. And she hit Mona in the face. That's all she did. So she really did nothing wrong. She only did that because Mona was yelling at her, and she wanted to take her down somehow. So what I'm thinking is that Allie definitely is the innocent one. They need to trust her, and I definitely feel like in the next episode they're going to gain her trust, which I hope happens, because I have not liked not seeing Allie. I've said it before, guys. Allie's my favorite character for a reason. I sympathize with her the most, and it's the most surprising character that you could sympathize for, but I sympathize with her, and I love her character. And as far as Mike, I think he's the innocent one now. I think that Mike is being played by Cyrus. I think Cyrus befriended Mike because he wants to make it look like he's the good guy, when really he's not, and he wants to make Allie look like the bad one. So that's why he befriended Mike, and that's why he's not calling himself Cyrus. I think also what's going on between Allie and Cyrus, why he's using that code name with Allie, is one, because maybe he's tricked her. I could definitely see that being a possibility. I mean, there are a lot of things there on why he's using that code name. I don't exactly know why. Emily and Talia, I'm very happy they finally finished that relationship. It wasn't going to end well for either of them, so I'm happy that they just decided to put a stop to it. Emily and Hanna for the Miss Teen pageant, I like seeing this overall. I like seeing Emily want to help out Hanna. I hope it works out for them. I really do want Hanna to get that money so she can get out of town, so she can get what she wanted. I really do love that. Spencer and Johnny, I'm so happy that they kissed in this episode. I really do feel like Spencer and Toby is over. After this episode, if Spencer and Toby is not over, I'm going to be extremely surprised if they're not over. Andrew, I think, is the good one now. He was clearly spying on Mike. I don't think he's a bad one. He has no idea what's going on, but I don't think he's a bad person anymore. And overall, guys, by far, best episode of the season. Absolutely loved this episode. One of the best twists in Pretty Little Liars history, I have to say, guys. One of the best twists, even though I knew it all lawn. Still one of the best twists. That's it for my review. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be for a movie review. Yes, I am watching a movie over Justified because there's a movie I'm watching right now that I want to continue watching, and then I'll review, and then I'll watch Justified. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I'll see you guys in my next video. So see you guys for that. Okay, bye.